Hi, it's Sandy Wyllie. Welcome to my mental health channel, where I wipe away the stigma of mental illness by talking about my own personal struggles, having borderline personality disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, depression. I talk about schizophrenia, narcissism, bipolar. I talk about all the different types of therapies, DBT, psychodynamic, psychoanalytical, IFS. I talk about my own experiences with unethical psychologists, therapists who sexually abused me, and a plethora of other mental health related issues. But I only come on as a former patient of almost 20 years. I am not a licensed therapist. I do not hold a degree in psychology, so I cannot give you a professional opinion or diagnose you. I can only offer you my own personal struggles and experiences. And all I ask of you in return is to please be kind in the comments, be kind to me, be kind to other people who comment. We don't need to disagree. We don't need to agree. We can disagree. Sorry. We don't need to agree on everything, but we do need to show respect and kindness. Now, if you are new to my channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hit that subscribe button there on the right. That way you'll be notified when any new videos come up. You will get notification of such. Hit the like button on the left right there. It's really easy if you like the button, of course. If you don't, you can hit the dislike. But that way I know what topics to concentrate more on, depending on what people like or people don't like. If a lot of people don't like something, then I won't do that topic ever again. So I really appreciate you sharing your struggles with me. If you feel comfortable doing that, if you don't, that's fine too. If you do, no problem. I will respond, and I always, reply back. Now, today's video is, do you have avoidant personality disorder? And after looking this up and everything, I definitely have this in spades. We're going to go over the 7 parts of this personality disorder, okay? So the first one is avoids occupational activities. I've done that all the time. When I worked anywhere, especially when I worked in an engineering firm in an office in Boston, Stoner Webster Engineering, it no longer exists. They used to have Christmas parties, okay? I never went to them because I avoided people, all right? That's an occupational activity. When the girls used to go out to lunch together, in the end, I did end up going, but after a couple of years working there. But in the beginning, I would never do that. In fact, I got fired from a job because I didn't socialize on the job. When I was a daycare teacher, it was my very first job. I just graduated with an associate's degree in early childhood education, and I took the place of a teacher who had left. And she was very close with all the other teachers. They were really tight. They had lunches together and everything else. Well, when I took the job, I did very good at the job and everything, but the one thing I did wrong is I never socialized with the other teachers. On lunch break, they used to all go down the cafeteria and sit together and eat lunch. On lunch break, they had a TV. I don't know where this TV was. It was it was in a convent, this daycare center, right? They had a room with a TV in it, and I used to go in that room, and I used to watch my soap opera. So I would never socialize ever with the other teachers. After a couple of months working there, they made some lame excuse why they wanted to get rid of me. I mean, I think you have like a I forget if it's a 30 or 90-day trial where they can terminate you at will, and you can leave at will. When you first sign up for a job, you have like a trial period, and they can terminate you at will for no reason at all during that trial period. And that's exactly what they did to me. They terminated me at will. And I know the reason, because I didn't socialize with those other teachers. I avoided, occupational activities, like going to lunch with the other coworkers, like socializing with the other coworkers, like going to Christmas parties with the other coworkers. I never went to any of the Christmas parties, okay? So number 2, unwilling to get involved with people. I don't get involved with anyone anymore. I don't have any friends. Look at my other videos. I've been hurt over and over, I've tried. I really reached out to people, and they've been very hypercritical of me. They've been self-absorbed. They never asked me anything about myself. So I don't get involved with anyone. I don't go to therapy, so I don't, because I've been sexually, exploited, and my psychologist had sex, which is equal to incest with me. So I really just stay to myself, my husband, my 2 sons, and nature. So I don't get involved with anyone. So that's number 2. Number 3, having restraint in intimate relationships. This is very true. In the past, when I did have friends, those friends never really knew me, because I never let them in, it was only like a superficial relationship. Like, they knew things about me, but they didn't really know me, okay? They never saw me psychotic. They never saw me in a rageful fit. So they didn't really know me. I never got intimate, and this is with, men and women. There's only been, with the exception of the psychologist who had sex with me for 2 years, I was I let him in on my inner stuff. He was a psychologist, and he took advantage of me. That's what I get. See what I'm saying? But other than that, I never let even my best friend, Holly, never really knew me, never really saw me, the real side of me. She knew things about me, but she didn't really know me. All right, number 4, preoccupied with being criticized or rejected. Exactly. I know that's, a borderline trait. I have borderline personality disorder. That's also a narcissistic trait, being preoccupied with people being critical of you. Especially borderlines, being preoccupied with people rejecting you, because abandonment is like the number one thing, of having this disorder, borderline personality disorder, that, I really worry about. So yes, I'm very preoccupied with people criticizing me or people rejecting me. Number 5, inhibited in new interpersonal situations. And this is very true, and I'll give you a good example. When we went to Colorado, we took a train 2 days down. It took 2 days to go to Colorado by train, and they had a dining car, and that's where you had to eat dinner. But we were paired with another couple because they had very limited seating. And I felt very uncomfortable having a conversation with another couple who were traveling too. They were going, I think, to Nevada or something, but they were taking the train down. I forget where they were from. But anyway, I felt very uncomfortable, and then I started having GERD, gastroesophagus reflux, and I started getting very sick. So I had to leave the table. I had to run, leave the table right away, because I felt very sick. I felt, if you have GERD, then you'll understand. I couldn't eat, I couldn't swallow, I had I had spasms in my esophagus, it scurred. And, I was extremely stressed and felt very awkward sharing dinner with a couple I've never met before. I didn't know them. So yeah, inhibited in new interpersonal situations. Number 6, feeling socially inept and feeling inferior. I'm telling you, I have this avoidant personality disorder. I always feel inferior and inept. I feel like I'm going to say something stupid. I feel like people are judging me. A lot of times I'll say something and then I'll feel so ashamed that I said that. Like, oh my God, damn, why did I say that? Like I made a fool of myself, or I put my foot in my mouth. Like, what an idiot, So I'm really hard on myself. So that is a lot like me. And then, let's see, number 7 is don't take personal risks. I've always played it safe all my life. Like when I got married, I stayed living with my parents in the apartment above, because then I didn't have to worry about having a roof over my head. There's plenty of times where I lost my job or quit my job because I'm borderline, walked off my job. My husband lost his job and there was no income. Now, if we were living somewhere else and we didn't pay the rent, we'd be evicted. But we were living with my parents, so my parents didn't evict us, obviously. And even when we couldn't pay the rent, we still had a roof over our head, and they helped us out, giving us dinners and everything when we were both, not working. And if we were living anywhere else, that would never happen. I knew at a young age that, I always avoided people. I avoided my in-laws. After we got married, I didn't have anything to do with my in-laws. Of course, because I have avoidant personality disorder. I never had anything to do with my my mother's family or my father's side of the family. I never went to get-togethers or weddings. I felt socially awkward. I did a whole video about social anxiety. That might be part of it. But it's more to do, much more deeper than, social anxiety. I just avoid people. I just really, I feel, much more peaceful alone. People cause me a lot of distress. They're always got so much drama, or I just don't know how to, interact with people. I guess I just can't interact with people right, or it just takes a lot out of me. It really wears me down. When I was a little girl, here's a perfect example. My mother's best friend Sherry used to come up every Thursday, right? From 11 to 3, something like that. And she was really, really nice, this woman, okay? She never said anything negative to me. She wasn't snobby. She didn't look down on me. She didn't judge me. I never felt any of those feelings for my mother's best friend, Sherry. Now, her best friend, Sally, that's another story. I couldn't stomach Sally. Rebecca was Sally's daughter. And if you watch some of my videos of why I'm glad my mother died, you might, or some other ones about my mother, you might learn more about Rebecca, but we're not going to talk about her in this video. Now, I just avoided Sherry. I made sure I, left the house before she arrived, and I made sure that I didn't come back home till after she was gone. Now, why? Why did I avoid Sherry, my mother's other best friend, when she was extremely nice? She used to buy me gifts. She used to always talk to me when I saw her and hug me, and never snobby. never put me down, never criticized me once, never acted, superior, anything. Like, there was no reason to avoid this woman. None. Like, I don't know why I did, okay? I just avoided people. Maybe, we should look into this. Maybe it had to do with my past. Just like borderline personality disorder has a lot to do with, having an abusive past. Maybe avoidant personality disorder, maybe that has this, maybe because I was shamed as a child. My mother shamed me. My mother was a very obnoxious, very loud woman who used to swear. My father was psychotic. He used to scream and have rages, and he would hear voices and have hallucinations. So maybe it has to do something with my past, that I learned to fear people at a very young age. So I avoid all people. My caregivers hurt me the most. And then other people who I trusted later on in life hurt me, so I avoid people. Let me know what you think. First, let me know, do you experience, avoidant personality disorder? Do you meet the criteria? Do you, avoid occupational activities like office parties or going to lunch with people from work? Stuff like that, And the other things, you know what I mean? Do you hide your true self from intimate relationships? Do people not know the whole you? Are you donning on the mask, and people really don't get to know, they might know things about you, but, do you avoid, group activities because you don't want to, you feel you're going to be judged. You feel people, are going to talk about you later on. Or you feel like you're going to say something stupid, or you're not smart enough as the other people, so, or you just don't have the, all of these reasons ring true to me, and, I feel like people are harsh, very harsh, very hard on me, are judging me, are going to criticize me, and I feel, inferior, and I don't feel comfortable with people. I just don't. So I avoid people. I've been hurt over and over and over by people who are supposed to protect and help me, like my parents, like my therapist, like best friends. So that's why, I meet all the criteria for this, so you can throw that another one on the book. For me. Let me know, if you've experienced any of those feelings too, and how you deal with it, and let's have an ongoing dialogue. I always appreciate you sharing with me. If you don't want to share, that's okay too. I'm not trying to force anyone to do anything they feel uncomfortable with. All right, till next time, take care.